Alright, welcome back to the Real Mills channel.
Welcome back, people.
We got it turned into like an indirect 50,000 subscriber special episode. You know what I mean? You see us sit down with Anthony Taylor, Pretty Boy. Everyone's kind of realized his story now, and I feel like another key member of the industry, another key member of the crossover boxing world hasn't had the chance really to say his story. You're just gunning him on Twitter all the time. That's what you want to do. We got Mams Taylor in the building.
Round of applause.
Let's go. Talk to me, Mams. How you feeling?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Special 50,000 subscriber episode.
Yeah, come on.
Sick.
Big deal.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be because we've been meaning to get you for a while.
Yeah.
And then now it's finally come around. It's like perfect timing. Fight week. You got a good event set ahead. I feel like right now you have a decent reputation. Maybe until Saturday night. It depends. You know how it goes. But yeah, how you feeling about this show?
I feel like there's been a lot of bumps in the road. Like usual, there's obstacles, but as I do this more and as our team kind of gets better equipped at dealing with things, once you're better at something, it becomes easier to deal with. So it's never ideal to go to plan B or plan C, but when you have to, and you just have to go with it unapologetically and move forward. Because I'll tell you this, what I've learned is you're never going to make everyone happy. Very true. People forget that this didn't exist before. So would you rather have what we have or not have it at all?
Exactly.
And
good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real.
And the thing is, fans won't be happy until KSI fights Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that's just pending, forever pending in the community. It's just that question all day, every day. But we're not talking about that because that's not the focus right now. Do you know what I mean? You got temper to deal with on Saturday.
I think it's the most competitive card we've had to date.
I agree.
And as it evolves and more people enter this space and the pool gets larger, I don't want to emulate the boxing model. I want to emulate the MMA, UFC model more, where it's as competitive fights as you can make.
Right.
Yeah. And in regards to the card, when I first saw the card, I thought, wow, are you using up all your chips here?
Yeah, because I thought
the card was stacked. It was good fights. I was thinking, wow.
Especially when I saw 5-year deal. Congrats, by the way.
Yeah, congrats.
But when I saw 5-year deal, I thought, and you're having all these fights on this show, there ain't gonna be no one left.
But yeah, the sport's growing, man.
It's growing.
I know a lot of people are hitting you up.
Yeah, a lot
wants to be on the show.
Of life. You got actors, actresses.
Pro athletes.
A lot of MMA guys and a lot of pro boxers.
Yes.
A lot of them. And we'll get into that, but I think there's room for everyone, you know, at every different level. So yeah, I think as it expands, the little Misfits universe just keeps growing and will keep things exciting and make the competition better and keep the storylines growing and generate the interest for the fans to create the demand. Now, I was talking about boxing, and again, I can't do anything but be in full praise of all the great boxing promoters and taken so much from them as a real fan of boxing, as a real fan of WWE and WWF before wrestling, as a real fan of combat sports in general. I've learned, like, you know, you see what Dana White, Vince McMahon, and Bob Arum and all these guys have created. But then you say, okay, well, this, in my opinion, maybe they could have done this better or they could have done that better. So I'm trying to implement that here in this space where we don't get criticized for the same things. At least we can learn.
Right.
That's good.
And I guess that's the beauty of coming after, you know, people who set a way. You can adjust your path accordingly. But that's present day, right? Well, I don't think a lot of people know about you, who you are. You're always like you're the bearer of bad news. You got this reputation where it's like when we see Mams on Twitter, the bearer of bad news. Yeah, when we see Mams, he's gonna tell us, this has happened or this happened. But besides that, where did you come from? What made you inspired to create Misfits? Where did that come from?
I think honestly, like, there's a force greater than us, not to be too spiritual about things or anything, but I do believe...
I agree with you, don't I?
I believe that some things just line up. And when you're passionate about something and you think about it and you visualize it, like it starts coming together. I know Anthony Taylor used the word manifest a lot, but I think that's a real thing, you know.
We've got a theme rolling in right now. You're seeing successful people using the word manifest. It's a thing.
It's true, and it's like, okay, if you just sit and think about it, it's not going to happen. But you've got to. It's like you've cut weight. We've all cut weight, right? When you cut weight, you've got a goal from A to Z, and you know what it takes to get there. So it's the same thing in anything. Okay, I want to be a millionaire. I want to have a beautiful wife. I want to do this. Whatever your goals are. It's the same thing as cutting weight in a way. You just got to be strategic and say, I've got to do this, and every day I'm getting a little bit closer, a little bit closer. It's our own doubt. We're so powerful, but it's our own doubt that gets in the way, or other people's voices bring those doubts within us up. But when you believe in yourself fully, like JJ's a prime example of that. When you believe in yourself to that level, it's like nothing can stop you from accomplishing those goals, you know? But bringing it back to your question, I think JJ interested in obviously he was boxing before I met him. It's been something I've always been passionate about and interested in, and same with music. So when we aligned and we got together and we became really close, I was just like, bro, you want to do music? You're an exec. You're a CEO. You're a king. You're not a pawn. So you want to do music? Let's do our own label. You want to do boxing? Let's do our own promotion.
But let's stop. Let's give you your flowers for the music.
We'll give you your flowers for the music.
Took him to a new level.
Yeah, you did.
Great, man.
Immediately, it seemed very immediate as well, because I remember we was at dinner in LA, and that was 2019.
Yeah.
And then literally the day after that, you was like, you was talking about the music, and then you got Rick Ross, Little Baby, on the shoot with him. So it's like immediately, as you said, you want to do music, he was doing music.
Yeah. And the thing is, because obviously you come from a music background, right? So are you involved in the production of the albums as well, and everything, the songwriting? Are you part of it in that terms of creating the music?
Like I've exec produced both of his albums. So we take direction together. We work really well together. That's
good.
And when we butt heads, we'll take a day or two, and he's really, really good at taking on criticism, and so am I. So at the end of the day, I think we've earned a trust between each other where we know our primary goals are legacy. Both of us are not, we're good money-wise. It's not like, let's be greedy, let's try and rinse this and rinse that. Not at all like that. So I think we've both proven that, and we have the trust established where it's like, okay, we have a common goal. You think we should go this way. I think we should go this way. Let's marinate on it, and then we come up with some kind of compromise.
It's a partnership.
It's a real partnership.
That's good.
And I will say this, like, you guys know better than anyone. He's a very down to earth, good person.
Extremely.
People don't know that. People don't see that side.
Trust me.
I guess he gives the people what he wants them to see. People also see what they want to see. Man. But clean heart. People are always surprised.
Clean heart.
Clean-hearted from day one. So it's good to hear that you have a good partnership with him. It's clearly working. How you come up with the name? I know it seems quite obvious in a way, but I still want to.
Proper Loud or Misfits?
The Misfits. Sorry.
Misfits. I know we got some. You guys didn't like it.
But it's grown on me now. That's what happens in most things.
We need to be careful because a lot of people watch our stuff, and we'll be saying stuff, and people go, "Hey, I remember you said."
It's true. It's true though. I was thinking, Misfits. I thought of that name, man.
I thought that's the show.
Misfits. But now it's here. It just grows on you.
Yeah, it's just it's normal now, isn't it? It's normal now.
We went through a lot of different names. I think Misfits was the only one we agreed on because this is not. A misfit doesn't belong in a particular space.
Yes.
Right.
So now we've got a space for people who don't belong.
Yes.
Like we don't belong in the traditional boxing world. We don't belong in this and that. So it's not something you can neatly slot in. And all of these guys, a lot of them are misfits. Look at
it's true.
No, it is. As much as we said what we said about the name, when I asked you the question, I thought, you know what? It really is living up to the name.
Yeah.
I can see the name where it come from. Do you know what I mean? So now it's good to see the progression. What, in terms of the boxing promotion, you've had shows you had one in Nashville, right? You had one in London. You had some in
Sheffield.
They've been about. So what dream locations would you like to hold a Misfits boxing show?
That's a good question. I know we're looking internationally at some different places. Obviously, UAE is a hot spot for it. I think there was talk of Ibiza. There's a couple of other things.
Hey, I want party Misfits.
Misfits
Wow.
party. But
Misfits
yeah,
party.
Obviously for me, we've done Texas. We haven't done.
Texas. Sorry.
For me, I would love to do it in Tennessee because I've fallen in love with that whole place anyway. So
I heard it's very like in that city there because Caleb Plant, world champion, who was with in Vegas. He's from there.
Was it the Longhorns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Have you watched their games?
Always talks about it.
Wait, which
College ball.
No, I don't watch that. I don't watch that.
Oh, okay, wow.
Longhorns is Texas Longhorns.
Oh, Texas, isn't it? Texas, sorry.
Yeah. See, I got Texas.
Texans.
Yeah. My bad.
Because I said Nashville, but I meant Texas. Then you went to Texas. But listen, Texas, Dallas, Texas, right?
Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee. Just so the people at home know that I know the geography.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so you would like to have a show in Tennessee?
Yeah, definitely.
How soon?
We're working on it.
Okay.
So within the next couple of weeks, we're going to know, we already know 05. We're going to know 6, 7, and 8 as well.
Okay, nice.
Well, when that IB for one is looking like, you always hit me up anyway. I want to give respect to Mams for that as well, I'm going to be very real on camera right now. When you meet somebody, that somebody is JJ in this case, and you meet him with a certain team around him, if a new team come in, you could just end up on the wayside because the new team want to bring in all the new people because that's how it's like my team now. But Mams has always given me and Lee the same level of respect, regardless of if I'm JJ's coach, regardless of whatever. If I say, Mams, please can you help me? He helps. And that I needed to say on camera.
That's true.
No,
it's respect.
That's true. I appreciate that.
It's the true respect, and it's returned to you as well. If you want to come to my fights, let me know, man.
No, of course, bro. And if I'm in town, I'd love to. But I will say, I think all of us have this in common where we like to be decent people and do the right thing by people. We're loyal to. So when I first came on board, there were certain people around that I was just like, bro, I don't know if I trust this, that.
Yeah.
And even you guys, I didn't know. And I felt, tell me if I'm wrong, I felt the same energy of you guys.
Because we come from the same place.
Yes.
You know how it is, isn't it?
And you have to be protective of
and it's our boy.
That's the thing.
Because we for us, we grew that attachment to him.
Yes.
Where we care about if he's good, genuinely. If you said, I don't want to fight tomorrow because I don't feel good, I say, don't fight. It's that level of care. So then when you do see someone new come, you feel, is he going to look after my boy?
Yeah.
And I think if you don't think that, you don't care enough.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I think naturally, it takes time. It takes time to see people's agenda. And some people are good at hiding what they're really about. Trust me.
Time reveals all, innit?
Time reveals
100%.
There's a lot of people playing games out there they can put on a face. Do you know what I mean? But you've always kept it 100, and I appreciate that.
Likewise, thank you.
But like I said, just one more time so you don't forget, I know you're a busy man. When the IB for sure is cooking up,
I got you.
Let me know.
The VIP party passes for sure.
How are you feeling about the belt situation? So I know you said you want one belt per weight division. I know ICB belts are no longer in within Misfits boxing. You said you wanted to take the UFC approach. That is what they have, one champion per division. How do you think that's going to be matchmaking wise? Do you think that's going to make your life maybe unnecessarily hard? Or
no, I think look, people don't understand that if a small content creator comes and wins 5 fights in a row, but they still don't pull in an audience, it doesn't matter because I'm being honest rather than being dishonest about it. I'm being honest. If you're not gonna sell, I have partners that really, really need us to, they care about profit.
Numbers.
People need to hear this.
People need to understand this.
Because a lot of people, they do put it down to the hands only, right?
Yeah.
So you get a lot of complaints. You get a lot of backlash. People saying, "Oh yeah, well he should fight him and he should fight him," but based on the fighting.
Yeah.
But this is the man right here dropping the game. So if you want to understand how to get yourself in the best position, he's actually telling you. He's giving you the game right now.
Yes.
So,
That's why the ranking system brings in the popularity
Yeah, it
elements
has to, it has
into
to.
it.
From a business perspective, it has
so
to.
Look, other organizations have never said that, but we see that happens. Why do I'm definitely not trying to badmouth anyone, because I see why it makes sense to me. But you see certain people getting title shot after title shot if they've lost 5 in a row, 3 in a row, because people still want to see it. They want to see that guy. So I don't think we're going to be as extreme as that. But at the same time, if so and so wins 4 fights in a row, but no one cares, I can't put him in the biggest stage.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So once it makes sense, then let's go. But that's why people have to remember, this is entertainment first. Yes, we respect how much time it takes to be able to prepare yourself for a fight and to step into the ring. It's not an easy thing to do. And you know, at the end of the day, let's respect that. But let's not forget, it's not, I'm going to let my hands do the talking in the ring, because that's not why people wanted you on this platform in the first place.
If you want to do that, go to the traditional.
That's what I'm saying. And we're going to, instead of me telling guys, can you post? Guys, can you start beef? Guys, can you do this and that? I'm just going to show that you're going to be rewarded by entertaining people and bringing the eyeballs to you. That's it.
That's it. We want entertainment.
Listen, if
we
don't
want
think
entertainment,
the people were given the info is right here. Mams is being transparent with you guys.
And this is great, because you guys are asking the questions that no one asks. Because
that's our job. Sometimes we get in trouble. Sometimes we but our job is to ask those
I don't
questions.
always agree with your tweets.
Naturally.
That's how it should be.
But see, the thing is, see, when we tweet from our perspective, and we're all fans as well.
And you
we're
have
fans
to,
as well.
of course. And it's very hard, because sometimes, a lot of the time, some of the opinions, I'm like, fuck, if only they fucking knew.
Of course.
And then I'm like, people are like, well, why don't you tell us? I'm like, it's not that easy.
Of
because
course.
if you say this, there's a domino effect of negativity that comes. So, you know, at the end of the day, I've taken a good few grenades, and I'm okay with that.
Taking some grenades still, But you're here, you're bouncing back.
You know what I mean?
See, one thing I want to say, Dylan Dennis has to be blacklisted. I don't ever want to see him.
We don't want to see him again.
No opportunity.
Mams, you can't do it. You can't give him another chance.
No, never. It's done. JJ puts his foot down and said, and listen, JJ's very open-minded, chill guy. He's very forgiving. He looked at me, he goes, I don't want that guy anywhere near anything to do with Misfits ever. And I go, done.
Round of applause again. No, for real, he don't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it.
It's true. And Dylan hit me up, and he was like, I can't believe you said I was underprepared. And I'm like, that's what your team told me. And you were underprepared. What's the reason then?
Exactly.
I'm giving you the floor. I won't screenshot. I'm not going to do it. I'm telling you now, it's a safe space to tell me. But he didn't tell me anything. He just, he kept saying, I can't believe you said that. I thought we're friends. And
so when this fight was being made, how confident were you in your gut that Dennis was going to turn up? I want to hear this.
Okay, so I think what happened was, obviously, Logan was supposed to fight Dylan. JJ was supposed to fight Tyron. I can say a little bit that, obviously, the budget for the show got drastically reduced when it wasn't Logan and KSI on one show.
In LA.
So we know the pool that they have. Get your friend.
So at the end of the day, when that happened, we had to shift a few things around. And then the decision was made for Dennis to fight JJ. And there was a lot of thinking behind it that he's going to bring the entertainment. He's a great shit talker and everything else. And look, let's talk about the negative aspects of Tyron. Great guy, great management team, complete gentleman, you know, in dealing with them. But he also, a lot of people, how do I put this? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, that at the end of the day, Woodley did have a couple of losses to JJ's arch nemesis. Now, if JJ goes and beats Woodley by decision, or beats him by a knockout that's not as cold, or it doesn't go his way, that's a really tough hill to come back from.
course. Right. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and even if he knocked him out, people would not remember that the first fight was close and it could have gone either way, the decision, whatever. They'll remember only one they won't remember the second fight, how boring it was until that moment.
it's true.
They'll only remember, look how Jake Paul pummeled him and took him out.
Yes.
That's what's going to always be a comparison.
Right.
So that was brutal.
And my thing is, he doesn't have to take the exact same route Jake took.
No.
I don't know why people think he has to fight everyone that Jake's fault.
Stay in
Find your own
lane.
route.
You know what I'm saying?
Jake is the one who says I want to fight Canelo. JJ's not saying I want to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
JJ's not saying, and it doesn't mean that just because Jake has that goal, he's gonna beat JJ in a fight or not.
Yep.
JJ could fight YouTubers. That was his space. That's what his thing was. So if he wants to fight, his team say let's fight this guy or that guy. I understand, and ultimately it's. The road to Jake Paul, everyone has their opinions about it. Everyone does, and I get it. We do want JJ to challenge himself, and I totally understand that. And every chat, listen, this guy, Temper or Ben Askren, if we're going to draw comparisons.
Of course, Temper,
Okay, then that's the same.
doubt.
That's the same comparison.
Yes.
I think Temper and Dennis. Listen. In a wrestling match, I think Ben Askren wins that without his hip surgeries and all that stuff. But in a boxing match, I think Dennis probably beats him.
I agree.
So it's just the comparisons aren't always fair as well.
Yeah.
It's not fair. You know, it's not fair. Everyone is gonna hold on to what they want to hold on to. Remember what they want to remember. No, go on. You're gonna say
But JJ is like, I will beat him tomorrow. So that's where fans are not forgiving of him having this. They're like, well, if that's the case, why aren't you fighting someone who's...
You got to stay, and as my guy, I would say to him, you send out one message. Send out one message. You said you're going to fight him at the end of the year. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anytime you speak on it, that's it.
Yeah,
but when you say, I'll fight him tomorrow, and then everyone goes, go on then, and then you have to backtrack.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want to do.
He look, this is the thing I will say. There is a wider team. The decision's not always. It doesn't rest on him. It doesn't rest on me.
Yeah.
It's a team decision.
Yes, things happen, and
Before you look gun Mams, remember that he don't pick exclusively who goes in front of JJ. It's a team decision.
So having said that, I think the ultimate thing is they need to fight. It needs to be promoted properly.
Of course.
It's not like, hey, tomorrow let's just make this happen. It's got to be done right, and there is a lot of complications in making a super fight like that.
Yeah.
That's potentially one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time.
It can be.
It can be.
It can be.
That's not even drastic talk.
Yeah, it can be.
That's for real.
So,
it could be.
So there's a lot of plans and a lot of treats for you guys. If things go the way that my team and Jake's team and Nakisa's team and all of that, if it goes the way that we're planning, you guys are in for a massive treat. It's not just about that fight. The lead up's going to be bananas, and we need time for that.
And are you looking up for, realistically, is it going to be 2023 or could possibly...
I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that happens. So I've always said I strongly believe this will happen in 2023.
Okay, and then how many fights do you think we will see of JJ? Up into that,
I think after that he has one or two more fights.
After
this current one tonight, Saturday.
After this one, he'll have one more fight most likely. And that fight, I get, and a JJ.
It has to be a tough opponent.
It has to be,
But look, you guys know JJ. If you say to him, go and fight King Kong, he'll be like, let's fucking go. Yeah. He really...
No, you can tell him that.
JJ will do it.
He looked in that mode.
People believe him behind him and believe that he can do it.
He'll
go. And so that's the thing. He gets unfair hate about that because it's not really exclusively just him saying this and that. But at the end of the day, he wants to entertain, and the end goal for him, let's say the end goal for this first chapter of boxing, is to fight Jake Paul.
Of course. But the way I see it as well, it's like Jake Paul's like M. Bison, right? Say JJ's Ryu. You got to go up the ladder. You got to have... As you go up the ladder, the competition gets harder. Yeah. So that's why I need to see him having more harder fights, just so he's ready at that point.
Well, Temper's a harder fight than Dennis, potentially.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
the next fight will be harder than Temper, and so it's the levels. But look, we can keep building this thing and let him have 4 or 5 more fights.
I would like at least 2 more.
But he really wants to fight him.
Yeah.
And he says like that's the end goal, but you guys know,
come on,
and I know it's like, all right, I'm done with this. You might be done with it for a while, but at some
call
point,
him back.
you're still a young
You're gonna-
man. You might
yeah,
get the
yeah,
itch.
He'll
and-
call him
You're
back.
gonna
He
come
loves the
back.
game.
Yeah,
He loves the game.
film.
He
He loves the
does.
game.
He loves it.
And when you finally achieve what you said you're gonna achieve, that next morning is a lonely day. That
It's
next
true.
morning,
It's
after
true.
I knock someone out, I wake up next day, I'm like, what do I
yeah.
do now? What's my life? What do I do now? I don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
It's so true. It's again getting a bit philosophical. There's goals, business, professional goals I've had, and every time we achieve them, I never ever have celebrated them. I've never taken the time to be like, oh, we you say it, but I haven't. I've got gratitude every day.
You always gotta have
every
gratitude.
day.
Don't live without
Important.
that.
But there's not one special moment where I'm like, oh, I did this. I'm
I've reached
fucking
it, I'm
sick.
there, yeah, but
You know,
there's always
You have
more
to
to
keep
do.
yeah,
going,
you just
journey,
keep
and
going,
keep moving.
Growing.
because honestly, all these things are they're fun and they give you. It's healthy for you to have goals in life.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think connection. Me even having this ranch, doing good things, being of service.
Yeah.
Listen, if you help someone cross the street, some
Yeah.
old lady. What feeling do you get from that?
Nah, it's a
What's-
nice feeling.
It's a nice
Bro,
feeling.
nothing beats that.
nothing beats
Helping
that. The
people,
small things,
it
man.
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
100%. That's what we're here for. That's what our purpose is.
Exactly, to be of service. I believe that strongly. I think
Yeah.
this woman said to me, this mother, she said to me, and I was saying this yesterday, and it was the most touching compliment. She goes, "You changed my son's life. You guys have changed my son's life." JJ gets this all the time.
Yeah, of course.
I've
I've
never
heard
had
it
someone
many
really,
times.
a stranger come and say that to me. She said, "What you've done with Misfits, what you guys have done, you've inspired this boy. He used to be overweight. He was mentally not in a good place. And now focusing on boxing, he's healthy and he's doing this and that." I said, "Just don't do too much sparring." And so,
Yeah, don't do too much sparring. But the fact that you can help, someone through what you're creating, say, I'm going to aspire to that. Because we all live in this moment now. But there's a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old right now who's like, 5-year deal. That means that when I'm 19,
Yes.
I can fight on it.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
Non-stop,
Start training now.
Non-stop.
And-
Can I be on Misfits? Can I be on
Yeah.
Misfits?
But now they got you giving them 2 jobs. So for me, I had one job: become the best boxer I can be. You'll get where you need to go. Fell into this by accident, right? But now what you've done with Misfits is like you've told everyone from the jump: make sure you brand and fight. Don't you can't just fight.
It's not you're just here to show up and fight.
So
no.
if someone right now is 15, 16 saying, yeah, give me 3 years, I'm going to fight on Misfits, I'll be the best boxer. If they neglect the promo,
Content is key.
you still won't end up there.
That's the thing, yeah.
So you have to now rock with 2. You got to battle. You got to do 2 because ultimately that's how you become a star anyway.
Yeah.
It's about the following as well. That's what crossover boxing is. So if you're like a famous bartender and you've got like 200,000 followers on Instagram and they're interested in what you're doing, then you've got
over.
a chance to be
Yeah.
on Misfits. That's basically what it's about.
See the term crossover boxing? Did you start that? Where did it come from?
I did.
I
You
was
said,
checking.
yeah, that's all right.
But it's influencer boxing. That's what I knew.
Yeah,
it as.
influencer boxing.
But crossover boxing makes sense, more sense now.
Yeah. It embodies more walks of life that are able
course.
to do it because not everyone considers themselves an influencer.
That's very true.
An actor might be an influencer, but they might get insulted if you say you're an influencer.
Yeah, because I'm an
Yeah.
actor. I would say
Yeah.
I'm an actor first before.
And you're
an
a boxer.
influencer.
for
I'm a
example.
boxer. Yeah, I wouldn't
but
say
you do influence people as well.
Right.
You know,
So,
so
all right, I'm gonna ask you a few questions now. I don't know how much you can say or if you
I'll
can
say what I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the most improved fighter that you believe right now on the Misfits banner? Who's impressing? Like, what fighters are you sitting down personally and going, I like watching this fighter? Obviously you put all the fights together to enjoy all of them, but since they have happened and how they've turned out, who's really stood out to you and you've gone, yeah, I can see a good
That's a
thing.
really good question. Obviously, for me, the obvious one that I'm really close to is JJ.
Yeah, but I'll have to.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
might as
yeah.
well see that
Yeah.
on Saturday,
Yeah.
hopefully. But I think I don't. That's a really good question. I think there's Deji. What he showed was like this guy can move. He's
Yeah.
got some. He's got some good
my
IQ. Gib did a
Yeah,
very
improvements.
bro,
Yeah,
big
big
improvements,
improvements.
and he was utilizing boxing IQ,
yes.
not
Yeah,
just
yes,
fighting.
just-
Yeah,
And,
he was.
Yeah, and then obviously I think for Dean the Great's gone,
Yeah.
and he's gonna learn a lot from that Waleed match.
Yes, of course.
And that rematch will very likely happen at some point.
Trying to make that one, you're trying to cook that one up, man.
That's a big one. That's a must.
But I think that's gonna be if December goes the way I want that to happen.
Okay.
Let's make that the most powerful, crazy card.
Yeah.
You're hearing that?
So you're getting insight, you're getting secrets, gems, everything, man.
Just little bits he can help with. Do you know what I mean? But and you had to think about it a little bit as well.
Yeah, no, listen, Slim, the confidence I think Slim's got.
Of course, man. He's part of it, man. He's a big deal.
He's a big part of it.
He's a big deal, man.
He got a lot of energy going.
I like his energy. He does what he has to do. Salt Pappy as well. And he's growing.
What do you guys think? I'm curious. Who do you think wins that fight?
You know, at first I was thinking maybe Josh, but I think when I've been speaking to Pappy, it's super Pappy for me now, man.
But that's because of his attitude and his confidence.
And when I talk boxing with him,
okay.
When I talk boxing with him, I understand. He knows the game. He knows the game.
How many rounds is that fight? 4, yeah. 4 rounds.
I wish that was 6 rounds.
You know what though? It's gonna motivate and it keeps the action going, I think, because you're like, I don't want this to go to the Salt rounds.
It's true. You do put the haste in the fight.
Salt Pappy's growing, because even see that little clip with him and Kenny.
Yeah,
the psychological warfare. Mama's just moving like, if you think you can jab me, I'll just bam.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's a big fight. That's another big fight.
I had a little go at Salt Pappy today on Twitter. I don't know if you saw.
Oh yeah.
Because of
from my video.
You boys.
We weren't expecting that.
We weren't expecting that.
When people come to us
we didn't think it was gonna happen.
And people started going at me. What, you protect JJ? What are you saying this and that? It's like, bro, first of all, it ain't like that. Secondly, it ain't, because there's a lot more to everything. But secondly, with Salt Pappy, what I was a bit annoyed about is him saying that belt means nothing, because that belt means something. But also, I know Salt Pappy is a big contender.
Yeah.
But he's fought 2 guys that,
of course,
that's the problem.
Same. I said the same thing.
We said that to him. Yeah, we said
see what you do this Saturday, and then it's a conversation.
Yes.
You're definitely a serious.
This is the test.
This is the test.
It's either he's hard like cheddar or he's Swiss cheese.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Holy hella holes.
Swiss cheese Gouda.
Yeah, Josh is solid though as well.
Oh yeah.
But we need more from Josh, man. He's a bit plain. We need more.
You know what? We need
more.
His spirit's too nice for me.
He's a nice guy, but
his spirit's too nice.
Be the nice guy.
Yeah,
bring your girlfriend with you. Be that family, man.
You know what I said to him? I said, you're like the nice guy from American Pie.
Yes.
Remember that movie?
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
The one who wasn't wild, but just a nice guy.
Then let's
he's
get more
got following, you know?
Yeah, he's got following. Big following.
He does have a big
Bring your
following.
girl, be that nice guy. Show you can, you know what I'm saying? The nice American guy.
He's gonna throw hands when the bell goes.
Yeah,
As much as I see, we know he's a nice guy. He has an MMA background. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. I think he's 6-1 MMA, so he can fight. He will throw hands. It's going to be exciting to see.
What about Greg Hardy? Is he going to be shown?
Is he coming back?
Yeah, we like Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
I think he's a beast. We just gonna make the right fight for him.
Yeah.
325 pounds.
Bro, this is the thing, right? So, and if you guys speak to Hasim, he'll tell you. So Rahman Jr., his opponent couldn't fight, COVID and all that. And then next thing, Shannon Briggs said he's going to fight him. Right?
Okay, we didn't know that.
So that was what was going to happen. So we're speaking to Shannon. Something happened and Shannon was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make this fight. I've got some other contract, whatever, right? Okay, so then he's like, what about Greg Hardy? And I said, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Then Hasim and his team, his agent at the time and all these guys, they're like, make this fight. Let's save this fight. Please, please, please. I was like, it's a bit of a weight difference.
But see when you're heavyweight, exactly.
That's what it is.
Heavyweight.
There
is no limit in heavyweight boxing. In MMA, in the UFC, you got 265 is the heavyweight limit, right? In boxing, it is 200. Unlimited.
Open
But
doors.
having said that, you guys will see, I'll give you a little tidbit. We're not going to follow exact weight classes and everything.
I've noticed that,
We're going to have 4 or 5 weight divisions.
Of course.
Until it grows and expands, because then if, again, we're doing the same thing, if we have 10 titles, there's not enough.
But even in the traditional boxing,
right.
like the gap between cruiserweight and heavyweight is too big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so there needs to be
yeah,
a weight class in between the light heavyweight and cruiserweight.
And people can do catch weights and
catch
figure it
weights
out.
and stuff.
We got to be creative at this point. So look, whatever you say, there's always some smart ass going like, yeah, but boxing and this and that. I'm
something.
like, bro, we know. We've thought about these things. This isn't a fresh idea you've got right now. But this is the best we can do with what we have. And
Sorry, light heavyweight and cruiserweight.
Yeah. Light heavyweight and cruiserweight, big gap. But no, you know what? You don't have to follow the weights. No one's
Misfits,
going to
man.
watch these fights for the weight. Everyone's watching them for who they are. Do you know what I mean? As long as it's not too far apart.
The audience is quickly learning a lot, right?
Yeah.
But they're also not as educated, a lot of them. There's some really educated fans, but there's some that aren't. So everyone's very quick to be opinionated on things.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys know you've been in boxing and combat sports for a long time, and you've been on you understand the business of it. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. So I don't know if you saw, but one of the things I noticed, I was like, okay, so what happened is this guy's team got 80% of his purse and he got 20% of his purse.
That's crazy.
So I put my foot down, and traditional boxing promotions and promoters, they're not going to be happy about it if they have those situations. But I said, I don't care. I will always make sure, and I give my oath, that the fighter will know what he's getting paid.
Yes.
So if he chooses to fight for 20% of his purse, that's on him.
That's good.
But at least the transparency will be there.
It's important. Because a lot of people get robbed.
Is what's important, man. As long as you can say what you're saying and everyone's aware of what's going on, what more can you say? Do you know what I mean? So, now, I know you wanted to go, last few questions, I know you wanted to, approach this with that attitude era feel. Yeah. With that being said, you need a GM. You need a what's they had? Coach.
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 Do you know what's funny? Guess who I was texting with me yesterday? Coach.
Yeah, okay.
Coachman.
See, this ain't know me. I could work,
man,
look, I
the
could work
man.
within the thing, but obviously I've got my own commitments and things. But I mean, So, how do you want to be known, Mams? How do you want to be remembered from this whole thing? Because I believe this is gonna be a massive wave. As long as everyone stays safe, I do not see this ending anytime soon, right? Well, it ain't.
I want it to be
with
forever.
the deal. How do you want to be viewed when people talk about Mams? Because I think you're gonna end up being called a promoter. You'll be a promoter.
Will that supersede everything? Yeah.
I think that will.
Okay. I think. I'll be honest, as I've learned, of course it's not nice when you see some negative and personal comments. It's not, but it makes, I've always had thick skin because I've had to, from experiences I don't need to go into, from growing up and this and that. So it's never been that, but when you see it, it's like, when people are misunderstanding your intention and what's going on, and you're like, whatever I say, if I give this any power, it's just gonna, there's no point. So you leave it. So I'm learning a lot. This is a big education. But also, ultimately, I will say this. I think the people that I know and know me, how they remember me is the most important thing to me. How people that don't know me, it'd be nice to have a legacy of like, oh, he was great, he pulled some great moves, he made some amazing things happen. That's flowers that it's nice to hear. But I don't have to hear it. Right. And if I don't, I'm happy, and I'm happy either way. I think if your happiness depends on that, you're fucked. And it's just the same thing if your happiness depends on anything outside of you, whether it's love from another person, whether it's admiration,
money,
whether it's money, material stuff. You're never going to be truly happy, and your happiness is, you put your remote control to your happiness in someone else's hands. And if you don't, and you keep that for yourself, then, and again, I'm human, I'll feel things for a moment, but it passes. And I'm, at the end of the day, when I'm with people I love, like my daughter, or JJ, people I'm close with, my parents, and I know we're gonna laugh, but my animals mean so much
the ranch,
to me.
man.
Yeah, no, come on, man. Of course you're gonna develop a connection.
Bro, the biggest connection.
What animals do you have on the ranch?
I got 2 donkeys I rescued. I got 2 horses, and they were kind of rescues. One of them was definitely a rescue. And then 9 cows, and then 3 dogs.
That's inspirational, man. That's dope.
Oh, you ain't making your own milk over there, though, right?
Do you know what? We can, but they're called gear cows. These cows, And they've charged me twice as well, where if they gore you, you're in trouble.
Okay.
So because the mum, we had to take one of the calves on a side-by-side, one of those, on the ranch, and you basically, she wasn't taking to the mum's milk.
Yeah.
So we had to go and take the calf, and she ran and charged, and we had to give her bottle milk. Then the next time I went on, I was like, everything's cool. Now she's learning to take the breast milk. And she just out of nowhere started digging the grave. Okay. And if they're digging the grave, they're not doing it to play. That means I'm going to put you in this grave.
Okay.
So she started charging, and I was like close enough to the gate to jump over.
So who taught you all this stuff, how to care for animals, tend to animals?
Have you guys seen me rope, by the way?
No, I ain't seen it. I just seen you put cows the other day.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, right? And since I was a kid, I wanted to be a cowboy.
Okay.
More than anything else, music more than this, that.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like in LA, and I was like, bro, this place is like, it's just a cesspool of people wanting to step over their own grandmother for clout. I don't even care about this shit.
Yeah.
I've done well. Why don't I have the setting that I want, which is I love animals and I love greenery. So that's what I did, and I started rescuing these animals, and I said, I'm going to learn to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
So I know I don't get credit for this, and I've been told not to say it, but I've got a proper cowboy teaching me how to be a cowboy.
Okay,
so he's a cowboy teacher.
Okay.
So he's taught me how to lasso, he's taught me like how to ride. And
You want to get any bison?
And bro, they're not friendly though. They're not friendly. The only reason, and you can't get one bison. You have to get because a herd animal gets depressed if they're not with their herd.
Right. So you need the team. You need the squad.
And
need the gang.
They're not too friendly. Even if you have it from a baby and bottle feed it, they're rough, bro. Bison. They're delicious though.
Okay. You growing any fruit or veg?
Yeah. We've got
any fruit or veg?
Bro, at this time, I think being self-sustainable is a good idea.
Come on, you know what's coming, key.
I think
Apocalypse is on the way.
Chill.
I hope not.
You're growing your own fruit.
But look, there's little things happening. Outages, power outages, internet outages.
Come on, man. We've seen, man.
I'm going to turn
flooding
this into a conspiracy.
I understand, man. I get you. Trust me.
But yeah.
Flooding is scaring me. Like little simple rain. I could have sworn when I was in my school jumper, wouldn't have been on the roads like this. The roads are flooding everywhere. One piece of rain, but I'm not talking about no apocalypse. I ain't talking about no apocalypse.
Put it this way:
yet.
It's better to be safe than sorry. Better to be prepared.
It's better to be prepared for the
always.
worst. It is. It's true. All right. Let's finish on a final question. Sure. Yeah. If you wasn't doing this right now, if you wasn't so focused on Misfits and building it and securing the long-term deals, how would you be spending your time? Just cowboying.
Yeah, just cowboying. 100%.
There's nothing else that could really take you away from pursuing that right now.
No, I have some goals of my own professionally.
Okay.
And I think they're aligned with a few of the clients I have, including obviously JJ, and I think it's the first or second conversation I ever had with him. First conversation on the phone. This is how it happened.
Yeah.
SX, you guys know SX.
Yes.
He was speaking to JJ and he goes, bro, who does this for your publishing and this and that and the other? And JJ's like, I don't know. So he's like, you need a music manager, and my guy is straight up honest and he's a beast and this and he's big up to SX because and I never forget that. I never forget that. So he made the introduction. Me and JJ had a 30-minute call, and that was it.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, let's do this. And I was like, all right. But during that call, I said to him, look, I'm going to get you a #1 single. I'm going to get you a #1 album. I'm going to get you nominated for this and that and the other. And we haven't achieved all of those goals yet. We've achieved a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I think at the time, JJ was like, he really fell in love with music because he got the confidence to realize he can do it. And as much as I can take credit for certain things I've done, if you don't have the right partner he's in the driver's seat. I might be the navigator next to him, but he's the pilot. If he doesn't wake up every morning and turn up and do the things he needs to do to make things happen, then it's impossible. So he's done that, but I'd like to think that I've been a big contributor of that, and we, I think we've done a lot for each other. So these goals that I have professionally are still there's still some I have that are aligned with a lot of his, and some I have for us. With Misfits, that goal is to take us to the top, to take us to the space where it's as big as UFC and WWE and things like that.
Yeah, that's the plan, man. But yeah, I think there's another question that the fans want to ask. It's probably the Joe Fournier. That video, that's it. Because people think, Mams said this and whatnot, but people need to understand that there's still other people involved in the matchmaking as well.
It's not
you're just at home and just doing it all yourself.
That's how
it's a business. Other
that's
people.
What Twitter thinks.
Obviously, there's I don't know if the zone's involved and
there's a lot of elements.
and then obviously there's coaches as well involved. So there's a few people that come together
to pick
find opponents. It's not just you.
No, exactly. And I think it's okay. I don't. Ultimately, at the end of the day, most people. Because look, there's going to be a certain amount of people that watch this, and they'll be like, maybe some of those people will still say, that fucking poser with a cowboy hat and glasses, fuck him. Some of them will say, oh wow, I'm starting to understand stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of people that won't watch this that will carry on thinking what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you just gotta.
Do what you're doing.
I'm just learning, like, you know what? If this is the position I take, and as a manager, one thing you are trained in a lot of the time, because that is my background really, is like, you don't take the medal home for the win, and you get all the blame for the loss a lot of the time. So if that's part and parcel of this position, it's still such a blessing to be in it. Let me be the Vince McMahon. Let me be the bad guy. I'll find some joy in that role anyway. You know. So
listen,
no,
thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate this conversation.
Sharing some bits and pieces with us.
I know gems.
There's been things said here that you haven't heard anywhere else. You haven't heard this before, and also exclusive. And you also got a chance to hear Mams speak in a calm setting without you lot trying to just hot him all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and he replied to Salt Pappy, so Salt Pappy knows, get me. Fight on Saturday, win against Bruckner, and then come see Mams again. But like and subscribe. It's been the 50,000 subscriber special. We hit it today. We managed to get the main man in himself, the Vince of the whole thing.
Cowboy Mams.
Lasso. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bless people.